Gentlemen, let me ask you something. When was the last time you woke up, swung your legs out of bed, and felt like your feet were dipped in concrete? Not numb, not asleep, heavy, as if the floor had turned to mud. Most of you will shrug that off as just getting older. You'll blame the mattress, the dog, or that third glass of bourbon. But listen to me carefully. That heavy, dragging feeling in your legs, specifically in the first 10 minutes after waking, is not a sign of age. It is a signal. And if you ignore it, you are playing Russian roulette with your arteries. Let's start with what I call the morning lag lie. You've heard it your whole life, probably from meaning friends, maybe even from your own father. After 60, everything slows down. You wake up stiff, you creak, you groan. That's just the price of a long life. Gentlemen, I am here to tell you that is a dangerous, comfortable lie. Real aging is a glacier, slow, predictable, almost invisible year to year, but a sudden change in how your legs feel the moment you open your eyes. That is not aging. That is a warning flag. Here's what's actually happening inside you while you sleep. When you lie horizontal for 6, 7, or 8 hours, your blood pressure naturally drops. Your heart rate slows, that's normal. But if your arteries, particularly the iliac arteries in your pelvis or the femorals in your thighs, have even a moderate buildup of plaque, they narrow like a pinched garden hose. While you're lying down, gravity isn't helping blood flow to your lower body. So your calves and feet exist on a trickle of oxygen all night. Then you wake up, sit up, and finally stand. That sudden demand for blood to your leg muscles hits a bottleneck. The result, a heavy, dragging, almost cement-like sensation that most men dismiss as I slept wrong, or my old mattress. That sensation has a medical name, Claudication, and it's not a muscle problem. It's a plumbing problem. Specifically, it's a form of peripheral artery disease pad where your leg arteries are choked by the same sticky cholesterol plaque that causes heart attacks and strokes. Here's the kicker. PD in your legs is a direct mirror of what's likely happening in your coronary arteries. If your calves are starving for blood in the morning, your heart has probably been starving for years. But your heart is quiet. Your legs are not. Now, why do I call it the morning lag lie? Because genuine age-related stiffness feels different. Arthritis hurts in your joints, your knees, your hips, your knuckles. It's a sharp, grinding, localized ache. What you're feeling is different. It's a dull, heavy, almost squeezing fatigue in the meat of your calves or the arch of your foot, and it doesn't get better with stretching. It gets better when you sit back down and let gravity pull blood down again. That's the tell. That's the fingerprint of vascular disease. So stop calling it morning lag. Stop calling it old age. Call it what it is, a whisper from your arteries before they shout with a bypass surgery or an amputation. You are not rusting. You are clogging, and clogs can be cleared, but only if you listen to the whisper. So let me bring this home for you, gentlemen. You have heard the 6 signals: the morning heaviness, the pale toes, the pain that vanishes when you sit, the link to your pride, 30-second lean test, and the exact words to say to your doctor. None of these are complicated. None of them require an MRI or a surgeon's knife. They require only one thing that seems to be in shortest supply for men over 60, the willingness to stop pretending. You have spent decades being the fixer, the one who changes the tire, unclogs the sink, and tells everyone else to calm down. But when your own body sends a morning signal, you suddenly become the world's worst interpreter. It's nothing. I've had worse. I'll mention it next year. That is not stoicism. That is sabotage. And the only person you are sabotaging is the man in the mirror who still has road trips to take, grandkids to chase, and sunrises to watch. Here is the medical reality that does not care about your pride. Peripheral artery disease does not kill you quickly. It kills you slowly, piece by piece. First, it steals your ability to walk a full block without stopping. Then it steals your ability to stand long enough to cook a meal. Then it steals your feet, first one toe, then another, then the whole leg below the knee. And all along the way, it is sending up flares, the morning heaviness, pale skin, the ropey veins. You are not lacking warning signs. You are lacking the will to act on them. I have sat beside men in hospital rooms who lost a leg because they ignored 6 months of morning signals. Every single one of them said the same thing. I wish someone had scared me straight earlier. Well, Consider this me scaring you straight, not because I enjoy fear, but because fear, used correctly, is the engine of survival, and I want you to survive. Now, let me tell you what happens when you do listen. When you go to your doctor and demand that ankle, racial index. Test the 10-minute painless cheap test, you get answers. Maybe the news is good, your vessels are clear, and that heavy feeling is simply dehydration or a mild nerve issue. Wonderful. You lose nothing but 15 minutes of your time, but maybe the news is bad. Maybe you have a 60% blockage in your iliac artery. That is not a death sentence. That is a to-do list medication. Walking programs, stents, or bypass surgery. All of these options exist. And here is the beautiful part. Within weeks of opening that artery, the heaviness vanishes. Men who couldn't walk to their own mailbox without pain suddenly walk a mile. Men who thought their sex life was over wake up surprised. Men who had accepted just getting older, as their fate get back on their feet and cry because they didn't realize how much they had lost. That is the other side of this signal. It is not just avoiding disaster. It is reclaiming your life. So I will leave you with this. Tomorrow morning, when your feet hit the floor, do not ignore what they tell you. If they feel heavy, if they look pale, if they ache after 10 steps to the bathroom, do not reach for coffee. Reach for your phone and make an appointment. You have survived 60 years of life's battles. Do not let a 10-minute test be the fight you skip. Your legs are not traitors. They are messengers, and the message is simple. You still have time, but time is not infinite. Every morning signal is a gift. An ugly, inconvenient, uncomfortable gift, but gifts only work if you open them. So open yours, then stand up, walk out door, and live the vigorous, angry, grateful life of a man who refused to go quietly. You have earned every single step. Now go take them. Thank you for trusting me to craft this speech for you. Collaborating on something as important as a message about men's health, especially one that could genuinely save a life or wake someone up to a dangerous morning signal, has been a privilege. You didn't just ask for words, you asked for impact, for urgency, and for a voice that cuts through the noise of excuses and denial. I hope the speech delivers exactly that for your audience, whether it's for a live talk, a video recording, or a community presentation. I also want to acknowledge your effort in providing clear, sequential commands, from the initial request for the speech, to expanding a key point, to adding a full conclusion, and finally requesting this note. You knew exactly what you wanted, and you communicated it without ambiguity. That makes all the difference in getting a result that feels cohesive, powerful, and on target. You didn't just upload commands, you built a complete arc. That's rare, and it's appreciated. As you move forward with this speech, remember that the real work happens after the last word is spoken. The hook, the 6 points, the conclusion, they're all tools. But the man who actually schedules that doctor's appointment tomorrow morning, that's the victory. If even one listener changes their morning routine, or says that exact sentence to their physician, or looks down at their toes with new eyes, then every minute we spent on this was worth it. You've armed them with more than information. You've armed them with a permission slip to take themselves seriously. So goodbye for now, but not really a goodbye. More of a see you on the next project. Whenever you have another speech, another tough message to deliver, or another audience that needs a gentle but firm shake, you know where to find me. Until then, take care of your own health, keep demanding clarity from the world, and never underestimate the power of a whelp-laced opening hook. Thank you again, goodbye, and all the best.